Yo, I got two builds for you guys. They're so good, especially if you guys need a budget M4 for peacekeeping mission, and one of them is under 100K. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the X-Film Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm very excited you guys are here. Today, we're going to be going over a new budget M4. We haven't done one in a while, and a lot of things have changed. Before we get into the video, we stream every single day on Twitch, except for some Sundays. So if you guys want to stop by and show some love, ask these questions live, enjoy some of the builds being ran live, stop by, grab caffeine. It's early in the morning. And come hang out. If you guys are getting some value out of the content, make sure you smash the like button. It does go a long way for the channel. And if you guys want to see more Tarkov content for free, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. You can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. Let's get into the build. So before we do a deep dive in the video, this video is going to be a budget M4. Budget M4. Budget M4, the reason why I put it in quotations like that is because people expect budget builds to be extremely cheap, be able to buy everything at level 1, and it's just not really how it works. It's kind of like, give me close to the best for a way better price. That's more how I look at budget builds. This one is going to be recommended level 30, and the reason why is because I made this video for all of the people trying to do peacekeeping mission and doing the other quests that involve having an M4 that you don't want to spend 250, 350,000 rubles on. And it's something that you can build a bunch of them and run them over and over and still have those decent stats, whether you're killing players, scavs, etc. So this is going to be based on that. Peacekeeping mission, you do not get until after level 30, which means you guys should have Mechanic 3, you should have Peacekeeper 3, and so forth. So it's not going to be like a Trader level 2 and under. Just a heads up, if you guys did come to the video thinking that, then unfortunately this is the wrong video. So I just want to make sure that that was clear. So if you guys are coming expecting a certain thing, you weren't like mad that you watched the entire video just to realize that you needed to be a little bit higher level for these builds. Now, let me know down in the comments if you guys want me to make an M4 that is like Trader level 2 and under. Like, what could I do if I do get an M4? I don't typically recommend running an M4 early because it's not really worth it. There's much better options for you guys, and I'm going to be dropping a couple videos talking about that, on what guns should you be running at around level 25 and under to have like the most success, the most bang for your buck. Essentially, M4 is not on there, but if you guys still want one of those low level builds, just in case, let me know down in the comment and I'll see what I can do. Okay, so very quickly, the first thing to talk about is where are we going to get the M4 for these builds? Now, we're going to actually get the M4s two different ways. The easiest, most budget way to build an M4 was actually to buy just the lower receiver for the M4 and then buy an 8R off the flea market. That way you can get the pieces from the 8R, put that onto the lower receiver of the M4 and save you about 15,000 rubles. Unfortunately, that is not the way to do it anymore, because if we look up how much an 8R costs, we will quickly see that 8Rs can cost from 33,000. This is actually on the super low end, 33,000 all the way up to 55. Where I've commonly seen it is between 45 and 50,000, which is almost the same price as just buying an M4. So that is not the move for going like budget anymore. And I also built an M4 buying all the pieces separately, but essentially you save money by buying the M4 flat out. So we're gonna go ahead and filter by item. And right now it's 60K. They do drop as low as 48,000 rubles. So try to get it around 48 to 55 to get my price range when I'm telling you guys about it being under 100K. I got mine for 52,000. Now, when we buy our M4, that's gonna look like this. What we should have after we're done taking parts off is it should look like this. We want the barrel, we want the upper, we want the lower, we want the buffer tube, and we want the magazine that it comes with. So this is what it should look like, okay? And then what we're gonna do is to save even more money, because this is our budget. So what we have technically is we have our budget build, and then we have our budget meta build, right? This is the one, if I'm have a little bit more ruble to spend, It feels significantly better, and you do spend more, but feels significantly better. We're gonna get this for 97,000 rubles. We're gonna get this from between 152 to 192,000 rubles, and I'll explain how that huge price range factors into how we buy the gun. Once we have it like this, we're going to go ahead and take off all the parts. We're going to sell these parts back to make almost 8,000 rubles to save even more money. So not only are we buying the full M4 by not buying it piece by piece, but we're actually saving even more money because 7,700 of it we're going to be selling back because we're not going to be using it. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to work on the budget build first, is we're going to go to Skier and we're going to go ahead and buy this rear sight. Now this rear sight is inexpensive from Skier 2, but it's going to go ahead and give us that +1 ergonomics. And on budget builds, we want every single ounce of ergo, every single ounce of less vertical recoil that we can possibly get. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. After that, we're going to be going to Peacekeeper. This is where we're going to be buying the bulk of our stuff. And we're going to go ahead and go to Peacekeeper 2. And we're going to go ahead and grab the Tango Down Stubby foregrip. This is one of the best budget, if not the best budget foregrips that we can get. So we're going to go ahead and snag that. After that, we're going to come over here and we're going to grab this little CAC muzzle brake. This is going to be for the suppressor that we're going to grab afterward. We're not going to buy it from Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper sells the suppressor we're going to get, but at a way higher price, and I'll show you. After we go ahead and grab this for the suppressor, we're going to go to Peacekeeper 3, and on Peacekeeper 3, we're going to go ahead and grab this stock. The reason why we're going to grab the olive drab is because it's cheaper. So that's literally the only reason. You can see they have different prices, but they're all the same. And then we're going to grab the rubber butt pad for another $71 to give us much better stats on that stock. Then we're going to go ahead and grab the OMRG pistol grip, which is one of the best budget grips you can get. This is going to give us that +9 on the ergonomics, and it's not too expensive at only $40. After we do that, we are going to go to Mechanic, and Mechanic 2. We are going to go ahead and grab this little MK12. This is going to be our gas block, so it's not blocking our view with our hollow or whatever sight we choose to use. Then we're going to go to Mechanic 3, and we are going to grab what, if you guys did the gunsmith with me, you know that this is a decent handguard. This is the handguard we're going to be using, especially for the price. Most of my budget builds and even some of my meta builds still run this handguard. So I really like this handguard. We are going to go ahead and run the MK10, and then on top of that, we're going to be running the 10-inch rail from Alexander Arms for only another 2,800. After we have everything, okay, we are going to grab this suppressor from the flea market. Now it can go as low as 21,000 rubles. Right now the lowest is about 30,000, and it continues to go up. So we're gonna grab this one. This one is usually cheaper than the tan one. You can grab the tan one. Just go ahead and check which one is cheaper. Let's actually look real quick. We'll go ahead and grab this. We'll do linked by item. And then when you do link search, it shows everything that attaches to it. We'll go muzzle devices, we'll go suppressors, and then we can go ahead and look. So we have 30,000 for that one, 26,000. So in this case, I would probably go tan just because at this point we're in the budget build and I'm trying to save money. But either way, we're going to go ahead and grab one of these suppressors. And the reason why we're not going to grab this from Peacekeeper, even though you might see it, is because we're going to be getting it for a third of the price from the flea market when Peacekeeper sells it for literally, once this is moved over, is about 60,000 rubles. It's super expensive from him, so we're not going to go that route. That is literally this build. This is what the build looks like. We're going to take it into edit presets so you guys can take a look at it this way. We're looking at 4753, 47 ergo, 53 on the vertical recoil. Sights and lights we will be talking about after I show you the other build, and then we are also going to take both of them into the hideout so you guys can see that as well. And this build is going to be 97,000 rubles. Now build number 2 should be way more expensive than it actually is. What we're going to do to get this build is even easier, a little more expensive but easier, is we are going to go to Mechanic. We're going to go to Barters. And we're going to go down right here, which I believe is Mechanic 3, the barter. Yep, it's Mechanic 3 barter. And we are going to buy this. This has almost all the parts we're going to be using. Just this upper alone is 80 to 100,000 lately. 80 to 100,000, okay? We're going to be getting this between 80 and 120,000. And what determines the pricing for this is going to be how much the GP coin is, because the GP coin is the barter. So when the GP coin is 20K, which it's been, it's 80K. When the GP coin is 30K, it's 120K. So, and all the in-betweens, okay? So that's what's going to determine the price of this. This is just amazing. It has most of the stuff that we want. It already has the grip we want. It already has a really good stock if you wanted to keep this. It has a really good charging handle. It has the 370. It has all the guides on it for the pieces that we want to put on. Oh, and by the way, this handguard is like 40 to 50K. So we're getting a 40 to 50K handguard. You can't even buy this at Peacekeeper 3. You have to wait till you get Peacekeeper 4. So this gives us access to it way earlier, which is really dope. So once we go ahead and buy this, we are going to go to Skier, and we're going to go to Skier 2, and we're going to buy this little guy right here, the front sight and the rear sight. Last time we just bought the rear sight because we couldn't put on the front sight, and we're going to get that extra ergo for cheap. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to get the Surefire War Comp, and this is going to be for the other suppressor that we're going to use later. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. After that, we're going to be going to Peacekeeper, buying the bulk of our stuff again. We're going to go to Peacekeeper 3, and right away we're going to buy this magazine. This is going to give us a very low chance to failure to feed versus a low. This is also going to give us better ergo, and it's cheap. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. After that, we're going to grab whatever stock that you choose. Like we can just go here again. We can grab this. We're going to go ahead and grab the rubber butt pad that we got last time. We're going to be going for the same thing. And then we're going to switch up the foregrip. We're going to go with a little better foregrip, and we're going to run this. Actually, you could run the tan if you want to run the same build as me. I'm running tan on black. So we're going to run the tan foregrip. This is the RVG, which is like the next step before meta. That is like the best to run, essentially. And that's going to give us the -2, the big -2 on the vertical recoil and the +7 on the ergonomics. Then we're going to go back to the stash. After that, we are going to grab this suppressor right here. We're going to grab this from the flea market for 27,000. Now this suppressor has been as cheap as the other suppressor, the NT4. You could go with this on the budget build if it's the same price, because it's actually a better suppressor. Now it is tan, so it doesn't go with every build you're going to make, but the main difference between it is it has the same vertical recoil as the other one, but it's quieter, it has better ergo, it has better durability burn, and it overheats not as fast. So in almost every single way, this suppressor is a better option. Slightly better, but still better. So you can always go with this as well if it's going to be this cheap, but we're going to buy that on flea. After that, this is what our build is going to look like. We're going to be 6450. Very, very nice. We're going to take it into edit preset and look. This is what we should be looking like. Okay. Most of the stuff we kept on it from that barter. And then now I want to talk about our options real quick for your sights and your lights or just laser. Now, this is the one that I typically run on everything, and this is the NC Star Tactical Blue Laser. It's just a blue laser, but it's really cheap. It's only 5,000 rubles. And then the second best option is if you guys are flashlight users, and then this one also has a red laser, so you have the option. So you can run it more places. This is the X400, and you can get this from Peacekeeper 2. They both have -1 ergo, so it's really going to be your choice, and this one's going to be a little bit more expensive than this one, but not by much. Those are going to be our options there, and I'll show you really quickly where you can get those. So we have Skier 1, we have the laser right here, and then we have Peacekeeper 2, X400 right here. Now, when it comes to these sights, the main differences between these, they're very, very close in price. This Bravo is going to be slightly more expensive, but slightly better stats. The TAC 30 is going to be, a couple things. It's going to be cheaper with a little bit worse stats, but also it's counting on the fact that you guys know how to use the one-time zoom as your holo, because this, as you can see, has the delta point and then it has the 4 times down here. This one, you're going to be clicking to go from the 1 to the 4 on this TAC 30 right here. So you do have to be used to it. It has a great FOV though. And I really, really recommend it, especially if you want to learn how to get good with like the Voodoo and the Vortex and those types of like scopes without using a red dot. I recommend going this route, and then you can always try both. Like I said, they're similar prices. Now, where we're going to go ahead and get these is we're going to go ahead and grab the Bravo on the flea market. It ends up being the cheapest. And then we're going to go to Peacekeeper, and we're going to grab the Delta Point, which it should be right here. And then you're going to need the little mount for it, which is on Peacekeeper 1, and that is going to be right here, Delta Point. Now, the other one is going to be, we're going to need the 30mm mount. You can actually get the barter for it right here if you only have Jaeger 1, but most of us should be way past that if you're looking at this build. So we're going to go to Jaeger 2, and we're going to grab it right here. It's very, very cheap, and that's why I'm running it. It's not much different than the other 30mm mount, and the Geisleys are way more expensive. So we're just going to be going with this one. And then after that, we're going to be buying the TAC 30, and you can check. Sometimes Jaeger's the cheapest. Sometimes Flea Market's the cheapest because you can get as low as like 25,000 rubles. In this case, we're going to buy it from Jaeger for the 33. That is going to be our options right here. Now let's take these into the hideout and see what they look like. So here we have our first build, the budget one, and we're going to be running the Bravo site, so we can use the red dot. This is the ergo for it. Not terrible at all. Okay. And then from this angle, this is going to be, actually, you know what? Let's go to the wall because I want you to see the entire spray pattern. And I'll show you both side by side. So this is going to be with 0 compensation on the left side. Now, as you can see, these parts where it kept going like this back and forth, that is the higher horizontal recoil that you're seeing play out in this build. It is controllable, but that's what you're seeing. Now, if we were trying to control it, I'm going to go ahead and shoot up here. So as you can see the difference, this is uncontrolled and this is me controlling it. Keep it in a much tighter grouping. Okay. And so we'll go ahead and shoot it a little bit more in here. Not the best, but not the worst as well, depending on how you're playing. Go ahead and show you the single fire. It's actually pretty good. The reset is really fast, so you can totally get away with just tapping somebody if you wanted to. And then if somebody's close up is when you would go ahead and use full auto. Here we have the meta budget build, and this is the ergo. As you can see, it feels a decent amount snappier. Let's go look at the spray pattern. So now we're going to do uncontrolled. And then we will do controlled. Uncontrolled and controlled are actually very similar. So these are the 4. They're not a whole lot different. You do see more, at least you feel more left and right on the more budget build than you do this one. This one feels like you get a lot more vertical. This one feels like I was trying to like compensate for going like this almost, like this. This one felt like I'm going like that. Go ahead and shoot it a little bit more over here. These are going to be for the taps. You can tap much faster with this one in comparison to the other one. I really feel it the most in the horizontal recoil. And that's that one. And these are the 2 builds side by side. We have the budget and we have the meta budget. Enjoy. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching another video. If you guys got some value out of this video, make sure you guys smash the like button. It does go a long way for the channel and helps YouTube push it out to more people. So thank you in advance. If you guys want to see more Tarkov content for free, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. I hope you guys are very blessed. Hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. Don't go anywhere. We got some more videos for you guys. Check those out. I will catch you on the next one. And as always, happy raids, my friend.